Not too long ago, this particular 6'7" highly skilled center took the risk and made the sacrifice at a young age for her family and moved thousands and thousands of miles away from her country just for the game that she loves. And throughout all the good and bad days, she's always had that hunger and drive inside of her. And that was to one day make it into the pros, no matter what obstacles she would have to go through. This is the Kamilla Cardoso story. Kamilla Cardoso was born on April 30th, 2001 in Montes Claros, Brazil. And coming up, she lived with her mother Janet Soares and sister Jessica Silver. And the three of them really overcame their share of obstacles as they were on a daily basis, surrounded by poverty, crime, and theft. Now, it would be at an early age to when Kamilla would start taking part in playing basketball with her friends around the area, which mostly consisted of all boys. And even then, she showed signs of being extremely competitive. And it was clear that even at those early stages in her basketball career, she really had that dog in her. Now, by the time she hit 12 years old, Cardoso was already 6'5" and was gifted well beyond everyone else on the basketball court around the area. So much so that at her school, she would amaze large crowds that would always gather whenever her team was playing. And even though she was starting to create buzz on the court around Montes Claros, her ultimate dream since a kid was to help her society help overcome poverty and crime. And she knew that with the perfect opportunity in the US, she could possibly earn a basketball scholarship and furthermore, be able to one day be wealthy so she could help the people that were less fortunate back home. And so by the age of 13 years old, she would receive a breakthrough that would give her the opportunity of a lifetime. Kamilla would receive a scholarship to attend Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Tennessee. And in the midst of the transition, it was far from easy, as the only words in English that she knew were hello, bye, yes, and no. And even though a lot of immigrants were faced with the same challenges, and most ended up in the streets, fortunately for Kamilla, she had someone pretty special that really helped guide her at every single step of the way, by the name of Coach Keisha Hunt of Hamilton Heights. And she would be the contact person for Cardoso. When she came to the country, she was told how incredible of an on-court talent Cardoso was and was shown video highlights of her top plays. From there, Keisha became intrigued and was determined to accept her into the school, but it wasn't up to her. See, it was Hamilton Heights athletic director that was the man to make the decision. And based off of the clips of Kamilla's on-court play that was shown to him, he initially wasn't that impressed, as most of her highlights were about her agility and physique and not her shooting and passing abilities. Now, eventually, the director gave way once Hunt started pleading for Cardoso. She even stated that Cardoso's abilities could be worked on. And just like that, Kamilla landed in the country ready to make her dreams come true. And there, it was a bit of a process for her to really come out of her shell. Hunt even stated she was really shy and timid and had been made fun of most of her life for her height. Even in class, to present something, she would rather take a bad grade than get up and present. And she had done the work, she just didn't want to get up and talk. There would even be certain days at school to when she would often cry when remembering how she left her family back home in Montes Claros. But deep down, she just knew that she had to get over it sooner or later. And over time, she would start to blossom on and off the court into something pretty special. Coming into her senior season, she was hands down one of the most dominant two-way players in the entire country. While standing at 6'7", Cardoso averaged 24 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and 9 blocks a game in her first year at Hamilton Heights. From there, she would be named team captain. And her significant improvement allowed her to become a McDonald's All-American, a Jordan Brand Classic, and by now she had worked her way up into being ranked a 5-star recruit and the 5th best ranked prospect in the 2020 class, according to ESPN, behind Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, and Caitlin Clark. At this point in time, she had a plethora of offers from big-time programs, from schools like UConn, Syracuse, Ohio State, in South Carolina, but she made the ultimate decision to sign a letter of intent to play college basketball at Syracuse, which instantly made her the highest rated recruit they ever had in school history. The freshman didn't fall short of putting on display her dominant presence on a gamely basis. She would even become their first player ever to win the ACC Freshman of the Year award after averaging 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks a contest, while also sharing ACC Defensive Player of the Year honors. Following the season, she truly wanted to challenge herself even more and maximize her opportunities, which resulted in the 6'7" center entering her name in the transfer portal. And at the same time, Dawn Staley was on the lookout for an elite center to add to the squad. Staley saw a lot of potential in her and thought that she could be an ideal fit for the program. And so after Kamilla made the transfer to the exceptional South Carolina team that had reached the Final Four in the NCAA tournament the year prior, Cardoso only averaged 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 46 blocks while playing behind other players like Aaliyah Boston. Dawn even stated that Cardoso had personal issues when it came to her family, which resulted in her slow start. But truthfully, her desire to play the game faded away with the little playing time she was receiving. Now, fortunately for Kamilla, she did experience winning a national championship in 2022, and as a junior, she was even able to up her numbers to 10 points and 9 rebounds while coming off the bench, as her team made it as far as the Final Four, losing to Caitlin Clark. But as Aaliyah Boston entered the WNBA draft, Cardoso, without a doubt, took that next step in her senior season. As a starter, she was able to up her averages even more to 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists a contest, while becoming Defensive Player of the Year. In March of 2024, Dawn Staley would surprise Kamilla with 2 of some of the closest people in her life that she hadn't seen in a minute.
This is kind of an incredible moment for all of us. For someone that's made like incredible sacrifices for her family for the past 8 years, just for this game, just for the game that she loves. Okay, we got a chance to do something pretty special. Yep. Bring her mom and her sister out, y'all.
Not too long after, Kamilla hit a season-saving buzzer beater to take down Tennessee in a win in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament semifinals. Now, in the intense SEC Championship game versus LSU, Cardoso would be ejected for the role that she took part in the scuffle, which led her to be suspended for the first game of the NCAA tournament. And as she returned, she was able to lead her team all the way into the national championship with the ultimate opportunity to get her revenge against Iowa, and she simply did not disappoint. Cardoso would will her team to a win with 15 points and 17 rebounds. Cardoso even represented Brazil at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup in Puerto Rico, Argentina, and Mexico, where she's led her team to 2 gold medals. Kamilla Cardoso, even in the midst of all the adversity she's had to overcome since she's arrived in the US, she's always been determined to one day accomplish her ultimate goal of making it into the highest level of basketball to help support her family and the ones back home.
Kamilla, what does Dawn mean to you, what she is as a coach and a person, and what she's been able to do for the program and help you with individually?
Since the first day I got to South Carolina, she's been working so hard to get me ready and prepare for moments like this. And I'm just so thankful to have her as a coach. She's like an inspiration for me and a lot of young girls out there. And I'm just so thankful to have her as a coach. She's the best in the business, you already know. Me, I'm international, so I don't have my family here. And she's just like a family for me, a family away from my home. And I'm just so thankful to have her as a coach. Aww.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kamilla Cardoso story.